But let's get in another corporate, and that one really talks actually to media. We have EID Parry. They are the stock on our radar. For quarter four, the company saw a dip in distillery margins, while sugar revenues also declined a little bit. However, sugar margins witnessed some bit of an improvement. To understand what's the way ahead, Mr. Muthaiah Murugan, the whole-time director as well as chief executive officer of the company, joins us on the show. Hi, good morning, sir. Thanks so much for joining in. Well, let's focus on your distillery segment itself, because that seems to be the growth driver. Could you tell us how many litres of ethanol you sold in the last year, and how many will you sell, say, in FY24 and 25, given that you have additional capacities that are coming on stream? And also decode this for us. Top-line growth is coming, but margins are dipping. Why is that?
Sure. Very good morning, Nigel, and thank you so much for having me on the show. So with regards to the distillery sector, we sold just over 10 crore litres of alcohol this year, and this will move to 14 next year. And in the subsequent year, it will move closer to 17. We have capacity expansion, which is coming on stream. We've just actually commissioned a new distillery in Andhra Pradesh, in Sankili. That's a grain and molasses-based distillery. And we also have two new distilleries, one capacity augmentation at an existing plant, and one new brownfield distillery as well coming in next year. So that will consistently take volumes up over the next 2 years. In terms of margins, I think we have suffered this year because of higher input costs, and I think that's one reason. Although of course our volumes have grown. Secondly, there is a transfer pricing element. We transfer molasses at market prices when we do our accounting. So to that extent, some of that profitability will get reflected in the sugar segment. But we are encouraged by the distillery, by the ethanol opportunity, and we're certainly encouraged by margins, and we're doing a fair bit to improve our operating parameters and efficiencies going forward.
Okay. Mr. Murugappan, good morning, and thank you for taking the time out and speaking to CNBC TV18. I hope you speak more often to us in the months to come. Just a follow-up here. You said that margins have been disrupted because of input costs. The margins by the end of the year in the distillery segment are in low single digits, just about 5%. Do you think you can get back to double digits in FY24A? And once all your new capacity comes on stream post the expansion, then what kind of revenue potential do you see?
So I think we will certainly see margin accretion going forward, as we've also significantly scaled in this segment. 2 years ago, we were just over 200 kiloliters per day. Now our capacity is about 475, and this will go closer to 600 in another 4 quarters' time. So we're also building our familiarity with this business, and I'm sure as we scale, we will build our efficiencies, and we will build better operating parameters. So I'm confident about margin accretion in the coming quarters. In terms of revenue, the year which has just concluded, it probably about 600 crores to the top line. This will move to around 950 in the subsequent year, and after that it will move closer to 1,200. In terms of our capacity expansion, as we move to 600 KLPD, which is just north of 18 crore liters of alcohol, we should be at that 1,200 crore mark in terms of contribution towards overall revenue.
That is 1,200 crores is by FY25, correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, and this, the contribution from the distillery segment, what will it be? Currently, it's about 20% of your revenues, 22%.
So this will move
after
closer
the expansion
to,
comes,
yeah. So in 2 years, we will be closer to 40%, between sort of 35 and 40.
Mr. Murugappan, good morning. Let's come to the sugar segment. Out of the 6 million tons allotted for exports, sugar exports, could you tell us what was your quota? How much have you sold till now?
So in the financial year which is just concluded, we were given a quota of 80,000 tons. We have fulfilled all of that. This is in the sugar year. So these quotas typically get allotted around the September-October timeframe. Of course, from the previous year's quota, we had some sales as well. So for the fiscal year, we sold about 1.5 lakh metric tons. We exported 1.5 lakh metric tons.
Okay, all right. And in this business, in the sugar business, margins have expanded. Could you tell us what is driving that, and what is it likely to look like in FY24 for the sugar business?
Sure. Sure. So, Prashant, margins have expanded. I think the export program has been very gainful. And I think to give you a perspective of realizations, our realizations when we export is about 36 rupees per kilo. Prevailing trade prices are almost 3.5 rupees below that on average. So that has been certainly helpful. We also close to 30% of our sales goes into the retail segment, where again we get close to 36 rupees realization. So we get about 2.5 rupees incremental delta from trade price because because of the branded segment we are able to sell into at a premium. So this has really helped drive realizations and sugar margins.
All right. Mr. Murugan, you have given us a fair idea about your operational performance. But, your shareholders will be wondering what you all doing with the stake you all have in Coromandel. I need to put this across to you all because a couple of years ago, you all went and trimmed that position by around 2%. And that perfectly coincides with your interest costs coming down as well. So you'll have done some deleveraging. Could you tell us with the remaining stake, what you all plan? Do you all plan on pairing some kind of stake in your holding in Coromandel?
So, Nigel, there's no discussion as such. I think the focus is to strengthen the standalone businesses of EID Parry. I think you will notice that the standalone sugar and distillery business has been turned around. We had pretty rough weather in the last decade, and now we're back to EBITDA per tons going closer to 600, op profit also moving closer to 200 crores. So that's the focus. We do have to fix some other parts of the business. We have a large refinery business wherein we have a lot of headwinds, and we sort of have a nutraceutical segment wherein we are subscale as well. I think the focus is on now turning those around and putting them on a better strategic path.
Okay, so as of now, no plans of paring down further stake in Coromandel?
No.
All right. And also, just a quick number on your standalone debt, because you're undertaking some capex, but your interest cost has come down nicely. So what is the outstanding standalone debt as of now?
So we have, so there are some there's an agri loan component. So I think the standalone debt is around, is around 600 crores. But there is an agri loan component over there. So that is quite short term. There is some long-term debt. We have given a line of support to the subsidiary PSR IPL, which is the refinery business. And that's about 200 crores.
Okay, so 200 crores of long-term debt, and you said short-term debt is around 600 crores, right, on the books?
Yes.
Okay. This assumes importance also because you have that capex plan going, I think to the tune of 150 crores is what you've already spent. What would the incremental capex be to, get this entire expansion through? And will that be putting any further pressure on your debt?
So the current distillery expansion and I think, Sonia, to your point, there's also an element of the expansions which we've undertaken on the distillery side. That is also, there is an interest subvention on this debt as per the biofuels policy. In terms of the capex that we're undertaking to expand the distilleries, about 275 crores in the current year for the expansion of 2 distilleries. That's work in progress right now.
All right. Appreciate your thoughts. Thanks a lot for giving us a lot of numbers as well as the way forward for the company. And thanks for stopping by on CNBC TV 18. Well, that's EID Parry. The street definitely likes what they're hearing. The stock is up about 3.5%.
Yeah, from flattish, when we started, it's up. It's moved up to the high point of the day.